Hey everybody, this is Dana from the Semen Retention and NoFap channel. If you're looking for the answer to the question of what is Mgtow, then you're in the right place. I'm about to reveal some easy ways to understand the idea of Mgtow. I understand a lot of people don't read, so I'll put it in the form of a video for you. I also understand that you may have come across this term Mgtow and never really looked into it, and it can kind of leave you wondering, like, what does Mgtow mean? How does this apply to me? But don't worry, because today I'm going to share with you just some basic information on what Mgtow is. And just to start out, I really don't necessarily agree with everything that they stand for, but nevertheless, this is what it is. So Mgtow first stands for Men Going Their Own Way, and it is an anti feminist, misogynistic, mostly online community advocating for men to separate themselves from women and from a society which they believe has been corrupted by feminism. So the community is a part of the Manosphere, which is a collection of anti-feminist websites and online communities that also includes the men's rights movement and incels and pickup artists. So like other Manosphere communities, Mgtow overlaps with the alt right and the white supremacist movements, and it has been implicated in online harassment of women. So the Southern Poverty Law Center categorizes Mgtow as part of the male supremacist ideology. So, what is Mgtow's history? While it's not clear where the Mgtow ideology originated, it is believed to have emerged in the early 2000s. A blog called No Ma'am was one of the first sites dedicated to the ideology, publishing a Mgtow manifesto in 2001. So earlier members of Mgtow were largely libertarian. There is a divide between early and contemporary members of Mgtow, with some earlier members expressing um, derision for the present day Mgtow community. So there have been several prominent online Mgtow sites, including the subreddit r slash Mgtow, created in 2011, smaller auxiliary subreddits, and the Mgtow forum, an independent website that emerged in 2014. So following Reddit's 2017 ban, a large incel subreddit r slash Mgtow was briefly the largest and most active manosphere forum on the site. So Mgtow communities and their fellow Manosphere group pickup artists began to merge with the alt right when it came to prominence beginning in 2015. So the two groups overlap both in membership and in ideology. Both believe that feminism has destroyed Western society. Mgtow and other Manosphere communities also overlap with various white supremacist, authoritarian, and populist movements worldwide. Far right commentator and polemicist Milo Yiannopoulos is credited with helping to popularize Mgtow with a 2014 Breitbart article about the Sexodus, in which he described men who were eschewing women, love, sex, and marriage from because of feminism. So researchers have implicated Mgtow communities in online harassment of women. In January 2020, a group of computer scientists published a preprint of a paper titled "The Evolution of the Manosphere Across the Web." R slash Mgtow and Mgtow Forum were among the online communities which the authors said have been growing in size and in their involvement in online harassment and real world violence. So the paper was described in MIT Technology Review as the most complete picture yet of the misogynistic groups that fuel the incel movement online. And in Der Spiegel as the most comprehensive attempt yet to analyze the manosphere online. So shortly after publication, Reddit quarantined r slash Mgtow. Quarantine means it a restriction the platform applies to subreddits determined to be extremely offensive or upsetting to the average redditor, so which prevents them from earning advertising revenue, and requires visitors to agree to seeing potentially offensive content before entering. So r slash Mgtow was banned in August 2021 for breaking the site's policies against promotion of violence and hate. So does Mgtow have membership or a community? So members of Mgtow communities are primarily heterosexual white middle class men from North America and Europe. Unlike some other manosphere groups, Mgtow is exclusively male. Mgtow often disavow hierarchies and claim to be leaderless. Some deny that Mgtow is a group or movement at all, instead emphasizing each member's individuality and independence within a collective. So Jones and colleagues, writing in New Media and Society in 2019, described the size of Mgtow communities. While the precise number of Mgtow followers is unclear, it appears to be a popular and growing group within the manosphere. The subreddit slash Mgtow, r slash Mgtow, has grown from 54,000 members in early 2018 to 104,000 members in early 2019, and there are 32,859 members listed on one Mgtow forum. Author Donna Zuckerberg described Mgtow in her 2018 book, Not All Dead White Men, as smaller than the men's human rights movement and the seduction of pickup artistry communities, with the Mgtow forum having over 25,000 subscribers and our Mgtow having over 35,000. So, what is Mgtow's ideology? At the center of Mgtow ideology is the notion of male separatism and the belief that society has been corrupted by feminism. Mgtow groups are misogynist and anti-feminist, believing that feminism has made women dangerous to men and that male self-preservation requires disassociating completely from women. That's the part I don't really agree with. I don't think that we should disassociate completely from women. Like, I think that's kind of ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, men just need to know how to maintain their frame when dealing with women. It's really that simple. So they believe there is systemic gynocentric bias against men, including double standards in gender roles and bias against men in family courts. That I can definitely agree with. You know what I mean? That family court thing is out of pocket. And that's why I'm saying, like, I agree with some of this, and then some of it I don't agree with. You know what I mean? But I'm not here to really present my personal opinions. This is more just basic information on what it is. You know what I'm saying? So Mgtow groups share a belief common among other manosphere groups that women follow a similar pattern in dating and marriage. Young and attractive women are promiscuous and engage in hypergamy, having sex with numerous men and abandoning a man if a higher value man shows interest. They believe that women gravitate towards alpha men who are attractive but mistreat them, and that this solidifies their beliefs in feminism. So as the women begin to age, the Mgtow ideology explains that they choose to settle down with beta males who provide for them financially, but to whom they deny sex, sometimes choosing to have sex with attractive men outside of their marriage. Finally, the ideology holds that the women will divorce their husbands and that courts will favor the women in divorce proceedings due to what they describe as female privilege. That is also true. I definitely agree with that. A 2020 paper in Information, Communication, and Society stated that Mgtow propagate extensive and wide-ranging passive or undirected harassment and misogyny on Twitter. Fellows at the Institute for Research on Male Supremacism, publishing with the International Center for Counterterrorism, have said that members of Mgtow openly disdain women and normalize it through online harassment. Now that is the shit I don't agree with. Like that's some weak stuff. Like to just be openly disdain, I mean openly just be putting women down. Like that's you're weak when you do that. I mean, now calling a spade is one thing, but if your sole focus is just to put down women, like that's I mean, I will use this term. That is beta. You know what I mean? That is beta. You know what I mean? Like I said, we definitely want to, call women out on the things that, I'm saying, they do that don't necessarily move society forward, but we don't want that to be our sole focus. Our sole focus should be on, okay, these are the women that we don't want to deal with, or these are the traits that women exist that we don't want to deal with. Where do we need to put our focus so that we can have a positive interaction with women? That's what our focus should be on, not on putting them down, not on beating them down, not on just this one-sided view, because it's like you just perpetuate that, you get more of that. Like there's nothing good is going to come out of that. You know what I mean? Now look, if you want to go your own way and just be separate from women and just, be celibate for the rest of your life, then by all means go ahead. I do definitely see the benefits in being celibate for a period, definitely. But unless you're planning on being a monk, I wouldn't necessarily suggest this way of just complete way of looking at things. Like I said, some things I agree with here, and some things I don't agree with here. So I'm gonna continue. The Southern Poverty Law Center categorizes Mgtow as part of a male supremacist ideology, a category they began tracking on their hate group tracking project, or hate map, back in 2018. So men in the Mgtow community use jargon shared by the broader Manosphere, including the red pill and blue pill metaphor borrowed from the film The Matrix. Those in the Manosphere who have been awakened from feminist delusion to the supposed reality that society is fundamentally misandrous and dominated by feminist values are said to be red pilled or have taken the red pill. And those who do not accept the ideology are referred to as blue pill. Other jargon includes pejorative terms for other men such as beta, cuck, soy boy, and white knight. And all of this is talking about mindsets. Red pill, blue pill, beta, all of that is just talking about mindsets. You know what I'm saying? That's all it all is a mindset. You can call it what you want, but it's all mindsets. So members of Mgtow communities track their engagement with the ideology on a series of 4 levels. At the first level, men believe they are used and manipulated by women, called situational awareness, or the red pill, but still believe in the value of marriage. So they are sometimes described as purple pill. At the second level, men reject long-term relationships, cohabitation, and marriage, but will still participate in shorter term relationships and sexual encounters. So at the third level, men reject short-term relationships and limit their interactions with women. At the fourth level, men minimize their engagement with the state and society, including employment, and this is called going ghost. So what is Mgtow's relation to other Manosphere groups? So the Mgtow community is a part of the Manosphere, a heterogeneous group of websites, blogs, and online forums promoting some forms of masculinity, hostility towards women, and strong opposition to feminism and exaggerated misogyny. In addition to Mgtow, the men's rights movement, incels, pickup artists, and fathers' rights movement also make up the Manosphere. So, what is Mgtow's involvement in the men's rights movement? Although some consider Mgtow to be a part of the men's rights movement, others have cited Mgtow's separatist ideology as distinguishing them from the men's rights movement, which engages in activism to try to drive societal change. According to Donna Zuckerberg, early Mgtow groups were primarily libertarian and opposed to big government. This led to a rift with the men's rights movements, who wished to lobby for governmental change, particularly with regards to custody and divorce laws. So, what is Mgtow's views on pickup artists and pickup artistry? So, the Mgtow community has a reciprocal disdain for pickup artists, also known as PUAs, due to their differing opinions towards women. Whereas Mgtow focuses on separating entirely from women, pickup artists focus on developing techniques to have sex with women. PUA communities have mocked Mgtow as virgins going their own way. Mgtow communities deride PUAs as being entirely dependent on women's approval. And because they place so much value on attaining sexual success with women, Mgtow says PUA communities contribute to what they see as overvaluing a woman in a gynocentric society. So, if you're interested in discovering more about semen retention and NoFap, then be sure to check out the book on the semen retention miracle at the first link in the description. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos helping you out with semen retention and NoFap. And check out this playlist of my top 10 videos on semen retention attraction. And I'll see you on my next video. Take care.